Welcome, everybody, to today's Welch team, the ultimate real estate myth-busting, fact or fiction. My name's Kelly DeLucia. This is
Tony Cantros.
And we are both proud representatives of Welch team. So today we will roll through a couple questions. And if you guys have any comments, please be sure to ask them below. All right, Tony, first one's for you.
Go for it.
Myth number one, you need 20% down payment to buy a home.
You do not actually need 20% down payment to buy a home. I don't know where people get this information from, but if you're a first-time home buyer, there's some programs that will let you do a 3 or 5% down on the conventional. VA and USDA in certain areas are 0%. And any FHA loan is 39%, no matter if you're first, second, third, or 100th home buyer.
So what if I'm a conventional buyer? Do I need 20% down? Because that's what my parents always told me.
No, you do not. Even if you're a true conventional buyer, you do not need 20%. Their minimum is 5%.
Okay. And I've also heard some things out there, like there are certain programs that might help me even if I don't have 3 or 5%.
Even if you're short on cash, there's bond programs out there to where they'll loan you the money to put money down on a house.
Okay, awesome. So if I was interested in buying a house, what should I do?
Definitely contact your best real estate professional, because they'll be the ones that best guide you on which programs are going to benefit you the most.
Okay, perfect. So what I'm hearing from you is I don't need a ton of money to put down on a property, and whatever I've heard from other sources, I should probably just contact you first.
You need to contact one of us. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Welch team contact information, 904-476-5539, or you can always comment or DM us on YouTube or any of the social channels that you might be watching. But let's get to one of our next myths.
Kelly.
Yes.
Can you overprice a home and then lower the price later?
I mean, you can, but I'd say that this is a big myth. A lot of sellers out there think that, ooh, I'm going to price my home a little bit high so that I can have some wiggle room.
Right.
That's not necessarily going to be your best strategy. When you overprice your home based on current market value, even if you just go up a tiny bit, you start to exclude large chunks of buyers because they don't think that your home is priced accurately. And then they wait. And they wait for you to reduce it because they're not even going to go see it if they think it's overpriced because they don't want to get their hopes up. So you're going to completely exclude a whole set of buyers if you overprice your home at first. And then you end up taking price reductions and sitting on the market and most likely probably going to sell for less than where you would have if you had priced your home in the market, attracted the largest number of buyers up front, garnered the largest number of showings at one time, and then ultimately all those eyeballs and all that foot traffic is going to lead you to the best offer possible in the shortest amount of time.
Right. And the longer that home sits in the market, what's your experience on people thinking there might be something wrong with the actual?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Property gets stale. Everybody wonders what's wrong with it. They start calling their realtor and saying, why has it been sitting there so long? Like, do I want to go see it? Does it smell bad? What's the problem? So you always end up taking a lower offer. Well, 99% of the time, you're going to end up taking a lower offer than if you had priced your home on the money to begin with.
Now, if I want to know what my home is worth, what should I do?
The best way to get a most accurate estimate for your property value would be to contact us. And then we will walk you through. We'd love to come take a look at the property. Viewing a property in person is the best way for us to determine what types of features and condition your home is in and how we can best adjust those values to get you the most accurate price range. Pictures are great, but in person is always best.
Got it.
Okay. Anything else?
That was it. So what I'm hearing is overpricing is not a good idea.
Definitely not. All right.
Got it.
All right. Next myth. Spring is the only good time to buy or sell a house. Is that true?
That's not the first time I've heard that, but it's not true.
Okay. Why not?
Really, anytime that's good for you is the best time to get into the market.
What if it was Christmas?
That's fine. People are still selling and buying houses in Christmas.
Okay. Like who?
Anybody. Anybody. Anyone. Every market is going to be busier and less busier than other times.
Okay.
But for the most part, transactions happen 12 months, 365 days out of the year.
Okay. So what types of buyers are out looking during the holiday timeframe?
Usually in the holiday times, they want to get into a neighborhood that is probably going to be good for a school district.
Okay.
They want to get in before the new year.
Okay.
The new semester starts at school.
Yeah, that's true. People have vacation time. They can go take a look at properties.
Yep.
Maybe they have to relocate.
Yep. And a lot of people from up north are, especially down here in Florida, they're looking during the fall because they're down here visiting for vacation, family, anything like that. They're leaving the snow and coming to sunny Florida.
Oh, and if maybe everybody else thinks that it's a bad time to put their home on the market, maybe I won't have as much competition either.
They're not going to have as much competition. Buying outside of the traditional busy time can be beneficial to some buyers.
Okay.
All right, Kelly. So our fourth and final myth: do you need an agent to buy or sell a house?
I mean, technically, no. You can list your home for sale, and you can certainly represent yourself when you go to purchase. I wouldn't recommend it, and it's not just because I'm extremely biased, because I am a realtor and that's what I do to make a living, but it is mostly because this is what we do every single day. And so we see lots of things that happen behind the scenes that if you only bought or sold maybe once, twice, even 5 times in a lifetime, there's going to be so many things that you're unaware of throughout the transaction. There's over 64 steps that happen when you list a property. And once you go under contract, I'm totally skipping over what it's like to even put it on the market, get the photographs, negotiate your contract. Once you go under contract, there's a whole host of like 160 other things that you need to double check, I's dotted, T's crossed, so that you do not leave money on the table, so that you make sure that the transaction closes successfully, so that the buyer make sure that their financing goes through. So there's just a lot of things that after working on over 3,000 transactions over the last 13 plus years as a team, we just have a lot more insight into all the different things that take place that most people don't think of. And then on the buy side, and that's just the listing side, on the buy side, you could end up either severely overpaying, or you could end up with a dud of a house that you're not sure exactly how or what happened when you either went through the purchase process, maybe you skipped your home inspection, maybe you ended up with a lender who actually charged a lot more than some of the other lenders that we might be able to recommend out there. So overall, your home purchase could be pretty costly on either side if you go about it unrepresented. And the other thing I'll say about that, there's a common myth that I'll just hire a real estate attorney to represent me in the transaction. I don't actually need a licensed real estate professional because licensed agents make too much money. If you go the attorney route, you will be charged hourly, just like every other attorney. And attorneys aren't there to help you on all of those, 100 plus steps that I mentioned. They're there to review contracts, and that's pretty much about it. So there's a lot that goes into the buying or selling process, and I would definitely recommend that you speak to a real estate professional, get an understanding of maybe some of the things that you might want a little bit more clarification on what exactly it is that somebody like us does on a day-to-day basis, and then you can make an educated decision from there.
Yeah, because of those thousands of transactions that we've done as a team, how many of those transactions have had some sort of issue that we've had to work around?
Sure. I mean, I like to say that most of the time, when something pops up that is a little unsettling to either party, we've seen it before, right? We're like, oh, this is a little snafu, a little red flag here, but guess what? We have the experience and the background to handle it so that you don't know actually maybe that something's happening. But there is on occasion, maybe once or twice a year, that some problem presents itself that is, wow, just a doozy, right? And so we all need to put our heads together. We need to contact our professionals on either end, whether that are the real estate attorneys that we work with as well, to help navigate through those challenges, because there is going to be a point in time with any transaction that we want to make sure that we're giving you the best guidance and the best, we're the best steward of your transaction, because it does happen. I like to think that I've seen it all, but every year something comes up and you're like, That's a new one.
Yep. Those buyers or sellers, they won't know what's going on behind the scenes until after everything is already done and closed.
And we don't want them to, right? Like, we want you to feel like everything is going smoothly, that there are no issues with your transaction. We want to make sure all the stress stays on our side of the transaction, which is another benefit of working with an agent, because all the emotions can be taken out of it. You don't have to worry. You just know that you love this home, you put an offer in, we're going under contract, and eventually that's going to be your dream home. I think that's a really great myth. You can certainly represent yourself. I wouldn't recommend it.
That would not.
Even when I've bought properties for myself, I have always had another agent on the team look over my purchase and sale agreements every step of the way throughout the process to make sure that I'm not missing something, because it's my personal purchase. So I think it's really important to have third-party point of view.
Yep. Have as many eyeballs on it as you can.
Awesome. Any other questions?
I don't have any more.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any other questions, or if you'd like to know if there's truth behind any of those myths out there, please send us a comment or a DM. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I'm Kelly.
I'm Tony.
Thanks for joining Welch.